Welcome to the League of Women Voters of Snohomish County Forum. We are focusing on candidates who will appear in the 2021 primary election. This forum is for the candidates for the City of Mukilteo Council Position 1. I'm your moderator, Jody Chartwein, League of Women Voters member and outgoing Voter Services Chair. Our candidates for City of Mukilteo Council Position 1 are Lewis Harris, Peter Zeev, and Tina Over. The League thanks all these candidates for running for office, for their willingness to serve the community if elected, and for participating in this forum. It is the policy of the League to be nonpartisan. Therefore, we do not endorse or oppose candidates or parties. We do take positions on issues which we have studied and on which we have reached consensus. The ground rules for this forum were sent to the candidates ahead of time, and I will now briefly explain the question and answer period rules. The first three questions were shared with the candidates ahead of time. They are designed as an introduction to each candidate's qualifications and strengths. I will pose the questions, and each candidate will have 60 seconds to respond to each of the first three questions. The fourth and final question will allow for a 90-second answer. We are using a countdown timer that is visible to all candidates. It shows elapsed time, signaling when there are 15 seconds left and when time is up. Time limits on answers will be strictly enforced. When you see the timer turn red and hear the chime, you are done. I will change the starting order for each question, alternating between or among the three candidates. The order was determined to ensure a random and fair sequence. And the order for the first question will be Mr. Harris, Mr. Zeev, and then Ms. Over. Okay. All right. Question number one, and this will start with Mr. Harris. What are the major responsibilities of this office and what skills are needed to perform them well? Mr. Harris.
Thank you so much for the question. So first and foremost, the responsibilities of a city council person is to listen to and represent the residents of the constituency. So we're talking Mukilteo here. On top of that, the city council member is required to help set the priorities and policies for the city. We also have a large responsibility to make sure that the yearly budget is approved and includes those priorities. And it's also a responsibility of a city council person to represent the residents of Mukilteo outside of the city, whether it's a part of regional task force or other outside responsibilities that the city has committed to. And I'm working to make sure that I do that very well on behalf of the residents of Mukilteo.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Zeev. Thank you.
First, I list zoning as being an important issue. The council is responsible for zoning. It's very important that we have strong zoning to maintain home values and the quality of life. My qualification is I'm a longtime homeowner in Mukilteo. I'm a parent of 6 kids and a concerned citizen. The second, usually first, is budget. Make sure the tax money is spent frugally, honestly, and efficiently. As the owner of 3 businesses, I have strong budgeting capability, and I've managed to keep that all going for 50 years. The third criteria is to resolve conflicts before they happen by good parking rules, street usage, and signage. And how do I know I can do that? Because I have 7 kids between he and her, so I'm an expert. And finally, improve quality of life through community activities, parks, playgrounds.
Thank you very much. Ms. Over. There.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so is it okay if I start now?
Yes.
Fantastic. I think the major responsibilities of being a city council member is really taking into consideration what it is that our citizens are looking for, and then trying to work together within the council and the community to to find an adequate way to resolve whatever the issue or conflict might be. I think being really transparent when it comes to our budget and what we plan on, we have to make sure that we are doing that fairly well as keeping our word. When we say that we're going to build something, if we say something's going to be done, we need to stay on schedule. And if there's an issue, communicate that throughout the city as opposed to posting it maybe one place where not everybody has the ability to see. I bring to the table, I've lived in Mukilteo for the last 7 years. My business is here in Mukilteo. Sold a lot of houses here, as well as brought a lot of people to come and purchase houses here in Mukilteo. I've been working with budgets and negotiations for years, and I've had the ability to work with a big, large, diverse group of people.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're now going to move to question number 2, and it will first be Mr. Zeev, then Ms. Over, and then Mr. Harris. Question number 2 is, what are 2 or 3 major issues that need to be addressed by the Mukilteo City Council? Mr. Zeev?
Yes, the first one that needs to be dealt with is the Housing Action Plan. This will result in massive upzoning, including the elimination of single-family zoning. Multifamily duplexes, quadplexes, and ADUs will be allowed in every neighborhood. I am totally opposed to this. I believe, in fact, we need downzoning, not upzoning. Even though the owners of 2-bedroom apartments are supposed to provide two off-street parking spots, they don't. And this needs to be fixed. So the code needs to be downzoned, not upzoned. Second issue is public safety. Public safety is at a crossroads today. Through this entire drama that is in the national media, I've had a "I love cops" bumper sticker on my car. And the local police love that. They've told me at Starbucks in particular that they really appreciate that I keep that on my car through this whole thing. The council has a critical job to ensure that the local police are well-funded, well-equipped.
Thank you very much. And for the second question, Ms. Over, it'll be your turn next. Please unmute.
Thank you, ma'am. I think our biggest thing is infrastructure that needs to be addressed. Talking with many citizens here throughout the last few years in Mukilteo, there's a lot of unaccess to sidewalks for pedestrians, kids going to and from school, people going for walks with their dogs and things like that. I think we need to get down to the basics and make sure that every neighborhood has what it is that they need. I know that we have the big bridge that goes down to the ferry, and the ferry project has been phenomenal, but at some point in time, we have to really put a plan together on how to address the bridge and make it larger so that it's safe for pedestrians walking to and from or biking to and from the new ferry terminal and the rest of the Mukilteo Beach. Addressing the affordable housing, I think that is a big issue with a lot of citizens that I've talked to, and it's a really challenging one. For me, I like to keep Mukilteo kind of small. The reason why we're here, we have really good schools, but we pay for those in taxes. So to develop certain things that we might not need to.
Thank you very much. And if you and Mr. Zeev will both mute, thank you. And it's Mr. Harris's turn.
Yeah, great question. What are 2 or 3 of the most major issues that the Mukilteo City Council needs to address? In my opinion, public safety is always and will be a primary responsibility for the city government. So that means ensuring that we have open communication with our police officers, understanding their needs, and ensuring that we have the revenue and the budget to be able to meet them. We also need to make sure that we're listening to residents about what issues that they are dealing with, including loud cars, including unsafe streets, and then crime in the area, and make sure that our police are adequately equipped to be able to address those things. The other major issue is addressing growth, which I put as an umbrella category because it includes infrastructure, it includes addressing the growing population throughout the county, and it includes us making sure that we are planning for the future while also maintaining Mukilteo's beautiful character and ensuring that our residents have a high quality of life.
Thank you. And Ms. Over will start off with this, and then it will be Mr. Harris, Mr. Zeev. And this is the question: what qualifications and experience make you a strong candidate? Ms. Over.
Thank you. I think what makes me a strong candidate is that I have been involved hands in with the Mukilteo City since I moved here 7.5 years ago. I have been paramount when it comes to getting things done in our personal HOA here, as well as the PTA, where I've served as many different roles throughout our different schools, partnering and getting stuff done with Leadership Launch, who's a nonprofit that helps our students that are within the Mukilteo School District to be able to become leaders and show them how to do that. I've worked with the homeless and the needy when it comes to getting them the adequate sources and stuff that they need. I also have been blessed to serve as a civil service commissioner for the fire and police departments for the last 4+ years. So I was reinstated after the first 2 years, or reappointed. And our job is to make sure that we keep Mukilteo safe. So once a month, we're meeting to make sure that we have adequate stuff done. If there's something that needs to be done with equipment, we have the ability to find that.
Thank you very much. And now we move to Mr. Harris. If you would mute Ms. Over. Okay, Mr. Harris.
Yes, so the qualifications and experience that I bring to the table and make me a strong candidate. I've been working the past 6 years to be a voice of advocacy, a voice of change, and a voice of support for marginalized individuals throughout the Snohomish County. I've lived in Mukilteo for the last 6 years and have found Mukilteo to be a beautiful place and my home. I also work at Washington State's Department of Social and Health Services, and I determine eligibility for state welfare programs, so have a keen knowledge of the issues and the inequities in our state system. But more than that, I've been working with police departments throughout the county. I've been working with nonprofits throughout the county to make sure that services are being delivered. And all of this has made me a strong voice on behalf of people. And I think that that's what Mukilteo needs right now, especially with growth concerns, is a strong voice that knows how to keep Mukilteo.
Thank you very much. And now if you'll unmute Mr. Zeev, it's your turn next.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. I'm in Mukilteo. I live and have my business in Mukilteo. I'm a homeowner in Mukilteo. I've signed the front of a paycheck, thousands of them. I started an environmental engineering firm in 1977. So I have extensive knowledge and experience of the environmental issues. I moved my business to Mukilteo in 1994. So I've been here 27 years. I moved my family here in 2008. I've had 4 kids in the Mukilteo School District. Jane graduated from Kamiak in 2011. David is currently at Kamiak. He'll be going into his sophomore year. Daniel and Max are both at Harbor Point Middle School. Those are very strong qualifications. And as far as my personal activity, I've been involved in the construction of the YMCA. I was a significant donor and involved in the construction of the Mukilteo Boys and Girls Club. The director said it couldn't have happened without my input. We also.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Zeev, if you will mute. And actually, you'll kick off first on the next question, so you'll have to unmute in just a minute. But since this is a new one to everyone, I'll say it before each person, so you'll have a chance to hear it again. It is, what have we neglected to ask that you would like to bring to our attention? And it'll first be Mr. Zeev, then Mr. Harris, then Ms. Over. Okay, Mr. Zeev.
I think that the questions were excellent. I think we have a pretty good able to weasel in any kind of the little perks and issues that we wanted to weasel in. So I thought that they were pretty good. On the third question on the qualifications, I'm a little disappointed because I had an entire page, and I wish I had more time on that one. But I could have stuck in all of the things that I've done for the community in the 27 years I've been here. So, that may be the one missing link, I think, as far as your questions, giving me another 90 seconds or whatever to go ahead and brag about all the things that I've done. But I've done quite a few things. I've never stopped working for Mukilteo. It's a 24/7 activity for me. Currently, I started a public group called the Preserve Mukilteo to try to stop the housing action plan. I've got very quickly got 500 members, and we've been packing all the meetings and trading communications back and forth because we think that this is a very poisonous and dangerous trend that's going on in our city. So I guess that would be pretty much what I want to do, is to talk about is all the things I've done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the fourth question to Mr. Harris, what have we neglected to ask that you would like to bring to our attention?
It's an excellent question, Ms. Chartwein, and a lot of the questions were good. I do agree. One of the questions that I wish was asked was, what is the vision for Mukilteo's future? As someone who is a 33-year-old who has been working on behalf of individuals for all of my professional life, having a vision for the future always sets the course. And what I see as the future of Mukilteo is Mukilteo continuing to be a beautiful community, family-oriented, with single-family homes as the primary housing type. I see a beautiful waterfront with local businesses able to make plenty of money to be able to contribute to the community and to be able to contribute to their families. And I see all of the neighborhoods who want sidewalks in Mukilteo have sidewalks in Mukilteo. I see our roads being top notch, and I see a decrease in traffic on the speedway, and great activities for families and the community at large. That's the vision that I see for Mukilteo, and I'm working every day to make sure that that comes to be. And I just need to be elected to help see that through.
Is over. What have we neglected to ask that you would like to bring to our attention?
I think the questions that you guys had asked had been really fair. It gives us a little bit information more about each candidate. One thing I would like to say, and kind of Lewis explained this as well, is what do we not only envision, but what are going to be the actions that we would take to get us to those specific things that we're looking for. I think what's really important is making sure that we are listening to our citizens and that we're doing the senior center everybody's been talking about. And then we keep a communication close with the police and the fire department, making sure that they have the things that they need. But all around, our community is growing, whether some people want to or not. Making sure that there's affordable housing for some people is going to obviously upset others. So finding a really nice balance in between the two of those kind of things, I think our city council really needs to be able to work on and make sure that even though it's not something you might have voted for yourself or personally what you would like, if it's in the best interest for the city and the citizens, that's what we need to vote on. We need to take out our own personal feelings when it comes to major issues and make sure we address them in the best bet for all of our citizens. I do think that it's very important that we have a lot of good communication between the citizens and the city council members. So I'd really like to see a lot of that and what everybody's plan would be to actually initiate something like that.
Okay, thank you so much, all of you. Thanks everybody for the audience. It's very hard to give an answer in these short time periods, and they did a great job. This concludes our forum. A recording of this forum will be available on the League of Women Voters of Snohomish County website and on our YouTube channel. It'll also be aired on KSER Radio 90.7 FM, and you can find the full schedule of candidate forums at our website, which is LWV, League of Women Voters, Snoho, short for Snohomish, SNOHO.org. We encourage all viewers and listeners to explore additional information about these and all candidates. The Snohomish County voter pamphlet will be mailed to residences starting July 14th. Primary election ballots will be mailed on July 15th, and the election day is August 3rd. Please vote. And thank you all for joining us.